Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another night here with the Smoky Mountain Motorsports late model stock car tour. And tonight we get to visit Florida, down here in the Panhandle at Pensacola at Five Flags. Tonight's going to be another action-packed race here around this 0.48 mile track here. It's only about 88 feet above sea level, and current temperature of the track right now is at 118 degrees, so a little bit cooler than last week, but still enough to make this track a little bit slick. But before we get started any farther here tonight, I got to bring in my co-host here, Derek Sherman. Derek, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Good, Jimmy. How you doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad. Just trying to work through the holidays and provide great entertainment to all our fans out there. So everybody that was here last week or just joining us this week, if you haven't already, please smash the thumbs up and share with all your friends and family. Get the viewership that all these drivers deserve out there, and all the sponsorships welcome and deserve, as we got plenty of sponsors out there for the Smoky Mountain late model stock car tour. But as of right now, Derek, these guys are just getting around here pretty good at a pretty decent clip here for their open practice before they go live. Right now, I'll go ahead and I'll bring those numbers up as we got just a few more minutes of practice left. But right now, Christopher Smith in that number 80, we've seen him dominate a lot last week on top of the boards with a 16.8, but not too far behind is that number 26 with Todd Lamphere.
Yeah, Jimmy, the times look pretty close from pretty much third on back to, I would say, 10th, 15th. I mean, only 0.003 of a second. I mean, 300ths of a second. I mean, it's not that much. Maybe a little bit waiting on the braking a tad too early, maybe turning the wheel a little too much. That's pretty much how close they are. One teeny little mistake. So, I love to see that 118 degrees. It's hot, but it's not going to be slick, like super slick like it was last week. So I'm excited. I like Five Flags. Everything about this track, it's banked. It has a couple grooves. There are the preferred lines, but I mean, you can pretty much race the entire track all the way around.
Yeah, the setup provided this week. I got a chance to get out there and give it a little test go this afternoon. I was getting some pretty good decent times when myself and I'm not too much of a short track racer, and I'm sure you'll hear that plenty of times, but this is pretty much this track is in my backyard. It's just up the road about 20-25 minutes from me, and I've been to a few of the races, and it's a lot of fun going there. And they just had the Snowball Derby here, which is pretty famous around here on this side. The winners, a lot of them go on to drive in the big cars, but right now having some fun out there right now. And at this half mile track, like you said, there's going to be multiple lines out there. Pretty much two lanes work very, very well here, and we're going to really see how these guys can manage these tires and these cars tonight. With their one faster pair, and they have two sets of tires only. Derek.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Two sets of tires. You can't beat them up. You got to be patient. Take what the track's going to give you, or the car's going to allow you to drive it at, and be easy. And obviously, as we seen last week, the Napa know-how of James Honeycutt definitely used up all his spare parts. So, I mean, yeah, hopefully he doesn't have that same situation this week. But you also got to have a car to finish with. So, not putting yourself in a position early to where you wreck your car or anything like that. So as you can see, qualifying practice has ended, and we're moving on to qualifying, and I'm wondering who's going to be the first one to put that lap time down tonight. Jimmy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's always some drivers, they're getting that habit, they're wanting to jump right out there, and it looks like James Honeycutt is going to waste no time in that 76 here tonight. Get out on that track, get his laps in, and see where he stands through the whole field tonight. And there's plenty of drivers out here tonight, over 20 obviously, and we're going to see how they lay out so they can run these heat races. But right now, let's see how they line up. We'll just follow the 76 around here as he gets out on the track and puts the time down. A couple drivers getting times in. James Honeycutt taking the provisional pole right now with a 17.018 over Ethan Shirtliff, Brandon McNeil, and Trey Whitehead, putting in some great times themselves. So not too separated apart, but you know, when drivers get out there and they try to get as fast as they can on these cold tires, it really does get tricky, and the car will tend to like want to step around a little bit. So you want a little bit of heat in these tires, and then you can really start putting some time, maybe faster times in. But a really good run there for James Honeycutt. So you know, I guess it was a good pick to jump on board for early there and allow James Honeycutt to go ahead and take that provisional pole. But he's going to get knocked off that provisional pole by Aikman Pollard in the number 89 car. ESM, a US tank, so doing a great job with a 16.984 rounding up so far. We have 12 drivers done, only a few more minutes remaining, you know, about half the field completed. Still a few drivers out there right now trying to get around the track, put in some times. Right here we have the 30 of Christopher Tate, a nice plain white paint job, and it's always good to see. And you know, just like if you were to go out to the track, a lot of the cars that go out there do have very simple paint schemes out there, and it's pretty iconic, and it makes them look really clean cut out there. But right now, Clint Walker is going to snatch that pole. No, Christopher Tate, as we were watching him get around, scores a 16.879 to knock a few people off that provisional pole, as we still have a few minutes remaining.
Yeah, you know, Jimmy, you were talking about how a couple of people haven't qualified. You know, it's not, at least in this league, it's not that big of a deal. You know, because qualifying, you're not going to go straight into the race. It's just determining on what heat you're going to be in. Obviously, if you don't qualify, you're going to be in the back, start in the back of your heat. But it also can help you doing that by figuring out how hard it's going to be to pass and how hard you can push it. So, you know, it's not always a bad thing, especially here where if you miss qualifying or tanking, it's not the end of the world. You got your heat race to figure out where you're going to start. So I like that. I like heat racing sometimes. It's just when you have like a whole bunch of heats where you got to fight your way from the F main all the way to the A main, you know, so.
Yeah, 23 drivers all have put the time in. So a little bit about the point situation right now. Robert Hattenbeck last week squeaked away with that win. Is obviously he's out front as the leader with as he grabbed that win last week. And then Christopher Smith, Christopher Cash for your top three in the point standings. Then round out into your top five will be Todd Lampier and Jason Haynes. So we'll see if we've seen a lot of action last week late with some caution-filled race. You know, first race of the season. I'm sure everybody was excited, getting used to running around each other. But qualifying, you know, should be done here. I don't know if they're going to fast forward early or let the time expire. There's only 1 minute remaining, but it looks like the qualifying is in. So if you can see the tower, you can see where everybody qualified at, and it will, you know, the heat races, they go back and forth. So anybody even will be in the same heat. Everybody odd will be in the next heat. So anyways, we got Christopher Tate, Justin Coleman, Christopher Smith, Todd Lampier, Clint Walker, Aikman Pollard, Wesley Whitfield, Dalton Creech, James Honeycutt, Rob Hattenbeck, Michael Stegall, Trey Whitehead, Jason Haynes, John Quill, Ethan Shirtliff, Brandon McNeil, Brock Whitehead, Lucas Whitehead, Christopher Cash, Christian Ruse, Austin Cooper, Connor Gadsden, and Charles Whitehead for your 23 drivers here tonight at Five Flags, Pensacola.
Nice little turnout tonight, Jimmy. 23 cars. It's going to be a fun and action-packed race. I would imagine not as crazy as last week's race, but compared to New Smyrna, this is more of a Dover-shaped type, more of a bigger oval considering it's a short track. But so it's going to be fun. Hopefully, a lot of beating and banging, and a lot more exciting racing like we ended last week's race.
Yeah, it's a really good track here. I'm not unlike last week. We actually had to purchase the track before we even went there. I've had a few races here and run around this track a little bit just because it is a local track, and it's a lot of fun. like I said, it's multiple groove, and it's really going to show in who can maintain them tires. And we're going to get a little taste here with these short heat races. But Christopher Tate is going to lead for the first heat field here. Will be Christopher Tate, Christopher Smith, Wesley Whitfield, Clint Walker, James Honeycutt, Michael Stegall, Ethan Shirtliff, Christopher Cash, Brock Whitehead, Charles Whitehead, and Austin Cooper for your 12 cars out there for this first 33 lap heat race. So they're going to get things started here very, very shortly as the lights are off of the pace car. So it's going to make for a very short and quick start here as they round the corner here coming out of turn number 3, getting ready to head down the front stretch here at Five Flags, Pensacola. But we're going to do one more lap as I'm getting, I guess, ahead of myself. I'm just ready for racing, Derek. I'm just really ready.
I know you miss being at the track because they're probably not doing a whole lot of racing right now, but this is the next best thing for you, Jimmy.
It's pretty much the next best thing here. Just to see this, to go down there and to hear the cars, smell the fumes of the gas engines, and just usually down there with somebody that either it's my son or friends, whatever, just having a good time. But the pace car is in this time, and we are going to go green. Christopher Tate on the loud pedal down the front stretch, heading down into turn 1.
Yeah, Christopher Tate's going to take the low line going into 1, and Christopher Smith is just going to fall in behind. Probably going to look in on the inside. Oh, Christopher Tate's going to block the inside lane. Christopher Smith's just going to follow as we're 2 wide, 3 rows back. Oh, this is going to be exciting as we complete lap number 1. And your leader is Christopher Tate. Jimmy, they're off and running, trying to feel everything out. No one's making any kind of crazy moves back there. As you can see, the Napa know-how, James Honeycutt running in P number 5. He's enjoying running in the top 5. Who's the number? Is that number 90, the bright yellow car?
Yeah, Michael Stegall in the number 90 Element 90 machine there on that outside. And you can tell that the inside's a little more superior when it comes to being, especially on fresh tires. And the outside is really not the place you want to be. But as soon as them tires start wearing down, you can really pin somebody down there on that inside and really hold your line on that outside. But they're going to follow on the play here. These drivers did have some practice this week. I was talking with the league owner, Christopher Cash, and they were able to get out there and run 45 laps with no issues. So I think we're going to see a little bit greener racing, I think, today, as these tracks are, they come and go. People like some of the shorter tracks, some of them don't like. I mean, you'd think they'd all be about the same as you go left around, usually around 4 corners, but they all are very unique, whether it's the tightness of the corner, the banking, the material that the track is made out of. But right now, Christopher Tate doing a fantastic job holding off Christopher Smith and that number 80 machine that he's looking to maybe take away another heat race here starting off the season. But that number 30 holding on strong to that lead that he has, with Christopher Smith following him, and then Wesley Whitfield, Clint Walker, James Honeycutt in that 76, and then back there with Jason Haynes and that number 66 machine, Brock Whitehead, Michael Stegall, Christopher Cash, and that number 69 machine, Ethan Shirtliff back there in 10th, Austin Cooper in 11th, Charles Whitehead in 12th. So the only people, everything's kind of staying the same right now, Derek, as Brock Whitehead is the only driver that has moved up more than one position.
Yeah, and obviously Michael Stegall in the 98 fell back a few spots, but everyone's just kind of trying to feel out the track right now. It's not super hot, trying to figure out what they need to do, what line's going to work for them, or to move. As it looked like car got a little loose coming out of turn 2 there, as we are on the nice track cam. But
yeah, I got to pull out the bigger cams. It really adds to the excitement as the drivers are getting around here. But this camera here is probably one of my favorite. It really does give a sensation, like you're sitting in the stands, being able to watch this race. And if you were there on track, it's like that spectator view. Usually when I go here, I usually sit up in turn 1, about halfway up, and it's a good view, watching all the way around. And usually turn 1 is where a lot of the action goes as they race down that front stretch, trying to get to that inside. But Christopher Tate still out front, not by much. We got a little bit of side-by-side action there with James Honeycutt and the 02 of Clint Walker.
You know, Jimmy, it's last week we were on a kind of a tighter track. Wasn't really a long straightaway, so as compared to this, they got a lot more room. Obviously, you can't go all the way to the wall because you see all those marbles at the top, but you know, everyone is following the line, trying to, I mean, obviously driving within their limits, I guess you could say. No one's really pushing it, and probably saving some tire, seeing if they can, how much they can push. As we're almost halfway in this heat race, it's kind of follow the leader right now as Christopher Tate leads, but Clint Walker in the P number 5. So someone came out. Oh, we got a spin.
Oh, Ethan Sherliff crashed back there on lap 16 here. Let's go back to see what happened to Ethan, as it looks like we just slow down just enough. Oh, he's gonna maybe get a little assist from the 12. Not much, but just sliding to keep it down to that inside. Backs up and is able to roll that number 25 forward, continuing his run here. And maybe, nope, just blinked out on me just a little bit, but that's okay. 25 back on track, keeping this thing green here as we are on lap 18 of 33.
Yeah, I just noticed that Christopher Smith is driving a Cadillac for his late model. That's pretty cool. I like it when they put like different ones, as I believe Jonathan Quill has someone has a Challenger paint scheme. That's pretty cool. You can see as the Cadillac on the front right there. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of jealous, but so his painter's awesome. Oh, there, Wesley Whitfield. He looks like he's driving a Charger. Napa Chevrolet. Awesome. That looks like a Chevrolet Camaro.
Yeah, they're able to change up them bumpers just ever so little bit. Obviously back here, even Brock Whitehead with that Toyota Camry front end there with that 31. Ooh, a little bit tight as we focus on the 31, as just trying to get a good view of your favorite drivers out there. Who's driving what? There's 69 of Christopher Cash in the Cash Customs vehicle. Changed it up a little bit this week. Back there in here's the number 12 Advanced Auto Parts. So you know, Napa got all the advertisement last week. Maybe it's Austin Cooper's time to shine and see if the Advanced Auto Parts will do a little bit better than Napa. Though you never know, a little bit of a parts rivalry out there, but Austin Cooper doing a pretty decent job right now. So currently sitting at P number 10. Then back there with Charles Whitehead in the 51 D&J Auto Sales and Service back there in 11th. And then Ethan Sherliff having a little bit of trouble, but running that Cash Customs machine back in that number 25. So, but right now we're on lap 25 and 33. The 30 is still out front, but not by much, by that number 80, who is really hunting him down. And I think he just might be buying his time, really trying to work that 30s bumper to see, you know, when he can get around and pass that number 30.
Yeah, you know, I was watching some practice. I seen some cars try and run up on top. To me, it looked like they were looking like if they can make the top lane work for a pass. As you can see, Christopher Smith was looking to the outside. He got halfway, and Christopher Tate's like, moved up in front and took his line. So it's going to be interesting to see. As you can see, Christopher Tate sliding around a little bit, like he's burned that right rear up a little bit. As you can see, Christopher Smith battling on the outside. He might have the edge. He just loses it in turn 1. So looks like he's getting close to those marbles. Don't want to do that. As Christopher Tate continues the lead, it looks like Christopher Tate has a little bit better turn 1 and 2 than Christopher Smith. So, yeah, Christopher Squared battling again this week, Jimmy.
Yeah, the Christopher's really at it. So Tate and Smith running the lead up here up front. But, obviously look at James Honeycutt as he's been able to move his way up into that P number 3 place, up 2 spots from the start here. Then back there, Wesley Whitfield in that 07 is still sitting in P number 4, having a good heat race here. Walker falling back just a couple spots here, had a really good qualifying run, but it's going to fall back 2 spots, but still having a pretty decent heat race here. Currently in P number 5, then back there with Jason Haynes, and then Brock Whitehead, Michael Stegall, Christopher Cash, Austin Cooper, Charles Whitehead, and Ethan Shirtliff to round out your 12-car field here for this first heat race here at Five Flags, Pensacola.
Now, Jimmy, as we're coming to 2 to go, would you, are you thinking that there's going to be a nice little bump and go for the lead to get the heat win, or are you just going to think they're going to race it nice and clean?
I mean, I've seen Christopher Smith, he's been keeping it really clean with Christopher Tate, and a lot of respect for one another. Probably just doesn't quite have the car, and without really keeping it dirty here. But we're on the white flag right now as they head down the backstretch, and it looks like Christopher Tate, as long as he holds that inside, and who should be able to fend off that 80 of Christopher Smith as they finish here at Heat 1. So Christopher Tate takes the win for Heat number 1 over Christopher Tate takes the win over Christopher Smith here for Heat number 1. Then James Honeycutt in that close to Heat number 3. Then Wesley Whitfield, Clint Walker, Michael Stegall, Jason Haynes, Christopher Cash, Austin Cooper, Charles Whitehead, Brock Whitehead, and Ethan Shirtliff for your 12-car field. But as fast as they were on the track, it will be just as fast to get off the track and let the second heat get out there. So our second heat will be lining up on the field. As you can see on the tower, it's going to be Justin Coleman, Todd Lamphere, Aikman Pollard, Dalton Creech, Rob Hattenbeck, Trey Whitehead, John Quill, Brandon McNeil, Lucas Whitehead, Christian Ruse, and Connor Gadsden for your 11-car field here for your second 33-lap heat race.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can keep it as Todd Lamphere is going to start on the outside. How they're going to race it, if they're going to have a little bit more, bumping and banging or pushing and shoving through the track. As the last heat race was more follow leader type race, as we had a couple guys make passes and whatnot. But it's going to be really interesting to see that Bad Company racing machine of Rob Hattenbach from last week's winner. He's starting in P number 6 to see if he can make his way to the front and have a good starting spot for the feature.
Rob having a little rocky start there at the beginning last week, but currently sitting back here in P number 5 to start this second heat race as we work back the couple fields. I'm just trying to run down everybody's car. Here's John Quill Jr., then back to Brandon McNeil, Lucas Whitehead with another throwback, number 3 for Earnhardt, and then Christian Ruse in that 14 back there in 11th or 10th, and then Connor Gadsden in that Cash Custom Machine 76 back there in P number 11. But out front is the number 14 of Justin Coleman, taking the green here out front. Gonna go high just a little bit to slow up that number 26 so he does not get a run. So we'll see if the 14 can do what the 30 did in the first heat race and lead it from the start to the end. And he's gonna protect that bottom side there from the 26. Oh, and a little bit of sideways action back there, so the caution flag is going to fly. That's going to be Dalton Creech. Yeah, getting a little bit loose here, and we'll catch Kova behind him, see what happened. Oh, come down. A little tag there with the TSM machine down to his inside.
That was a good save by, I believe it's the 99.
Yeah, that'd be the 89, I think. The 89.
89, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the 89 coming up just a little bit right there. 36 losing the rear end, just spinning as a 23 checks up and is able to, ever so slightly, as we let those go by, but a bunch of people, what's going on here as late here in the end here, as everybody's, must be checking up for, I bet you they're checking up for the pace car. Yeah, I see like everybody on my SDK. It looks like they crashed, but I think it's just pace car speed here, just waiting for everybody to catch up.
Well, Justin Coleman is your leader in that Corvette machine, Cash Customs, or I believe it is. But you know, it was a quick and fast green flag to yellow flag. But Jimmy, you know, it's interesting to see. You know, depending on the situation, it wasn't. It's hard to see sometimes if you have one monitor or two monitors outside of those seats in the car to see who's outside. Unless you have a spotter, it's kind of hard to see if there's someone's on your outside. So
yeah, it's an interesting thing. You know, I race with plenty of other drivers out here on the server, on the service, and you know, everybody's setup is not identical. You know, you have people out there with 50+ inch TVs, single TVs that they run on. Could be a laptop. I talk to people that they're out on the road because they're a truck driver, and they have a rig set up, or a makeshift rig on the back of their semi truck, so they can get some time out there and do and enjoy themselves while they're on their downtime, and instead of driving shipping things all over the US here. But right now they're back to green. The 14 is back on the loud pedal, gonna pull out to a nice little lead of 26 to the outside, but that's gonna allow the 89 of Aikman Pollard to get underneath that 26 and take away that P number 2. So as a 14, the 014 kind of pulls away. We're gonna have to keep an eye on the 89 26 as they are now battling for that P number 2, but the 26 gets underneath the 89. That's where you want to be. Going to end up hanging that 89 to that outside. Can the 89 use that outside to his advantage, pinch that 26 down there, and make him not be able to get on the throttle as much as he wants? And that's exactly what that 89 is doing right now.
Yeah, Jimmy, it's as you can see, the 89 is getting into the marbles. He's going to have to be careful not to get the rear end loose, but as you can see, he checks up and lets the 26 in. As you see, Rob Hattenbach is going to try to squeeze inside of the 89, but the 89 closes the door. It almost looks like on the restart, the top lane is not the place to be, as you'll fall quickly behind because it's probably not as fast on cold tires up there. So everyone's starting. The 23's on the high side. He's doing a pretty good 23 job. Is stuck on the high side. He's trying his hardest to stay up there and keep those guys behind him, but it's not happening. He has a big old freight train coming behind him of cars as the 77 and John Quills past him. Looks like little beating wall banging right there. The 3 of Trey or Lucas Whitehead and 36 of Dalton are behind the 23 as 23 drop down.
Yeah, 23 doing a fantastic job. Had to give up that outside, allows the 77 to get by. So John Quill up 2 spots from the start, doing a fantastic job. Currently sitting in that P number 5. But on the move is Rob Hattenbach. But the 77 is going to go to the outside and take that away. He was able to pinch that 99 down. That's what I was talking about, Derek, about, if they can get the run on the outside, they just have to, trust the driver that's down in the inside, that he's not going to overdrive the car, push that car to the outside, and allow to get that outside to get a better run than the guy from the inside. Especially as they, the track warms up, starts wearing in, that outside can be real dominant. It really depends on the drivers and how well they trust each other. But the 77 and the 99 swapping spots back and forth. This could be a prelude to what's going to go on for the main event. But right now we're having a great, fantastic show here between that 77 and 99.
Yeah, Jimmy, as you can see, Justin Coleman is still leading this race. Just by a little bit, not by much, about less than a half a second. So over Todd Lamphere. It's good to see people racing hard, especially early. The only problem is you can burn up your tires and you go from the front to the back just because you want to hold off on someone or try to take a spot instead of just waiting for them to make a mistake. So, it's exciting to see people racing. As you can see, Dalton Creech right there in the 36 machine. Probably started in the back, made up a couple spots so far. So
Yeah, Dalton had that spin around, and he's gonna. Ooh, see the 3 smacking the wall, just driving a little bit too hard there. And that's the things that that like Dalton's gonna have to pay attention to, to capitalize on those mistakes for those drivers in front of him. It's not a very easy place to pass here. Unless you're on new tires and there's somebody else is on old, it's really about timing and putting your car in that right spot at the right time, capitalizing on the mistakes of the other drivers. And unfortunately, Dalton Creech had to fall to the back after that slight spin around, but he was at least able to continue with this heat race here. But right now it's all Justin Coleman out in front over Todd Lamphere, Aikman Pollard in 3rd, John Quills in 4th, Rob Hattenbach's in 5th, Lucas Whitehead is in 6th, Dalton Creech back there in 7th, Trey Whitehead's in 8th, Brandon McNeil in 9th, Christian Ruse in 10th, and Connor Gadsden back there in bringing up the back of the pack. So a lot of times you just get out there and some tracks you're just more comfortable with, Derek. There's a lot of tracks. I do a lot more road racing and lately, obviously from when I first started I did nothing but ovals, but I went to the road racing side of the house, and there's tracks that I could run that thing in my sleep, and then there's tracks that they're not much different, but it just doesn't click. Like, it doesn't feel right with depending on the car that I'm driving, and it can happen to anybody or any of these drivers. And the only way you're going to get better is to get more laps in here, and that's what some of these drivers are doing right now. But Justin Coleman out front. We are 20 laps in for this 33 lap heat race.
Is that the 26?
Yes, Todd Lamphere
battling for the lead. On the inside, Justin Coleman's holding him pretty well. On the outside, they're both giving plenty of room for each other to, make sure they don't get neck coated, as they have a 1.5, almost 1.2 seconds lead over the 3rd place of Aikman Pollard. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, there's plenty of racing to be done here, and then this might be something that the 014 is testing out for later in the run. Long as everything is going good right now, they're looking in top 1 or 2 finishing positions here for the 2nd lap heat race, but maybe just allowing to have another car go down to the inside and see if he can hold the spot. You can see how the 14 kind of just out a lot earlier, coming out of 4 than the 26. The 26 trying to get that run, that little bit of shorter run on the inside. But yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how far or how much these cars drop off in time. But as of right now, you see these cars doing like 17.6. So not quite a full second, as we've seen some drivers qualify with a 16.8. So after 30 laps, looking about a half a second or so down.
Yeah, we have pretty high temperature in the for track temp, so it's the setup's not giving them much of a fall off, and so that's something that you want to see. The guys are obviously taking care of their tires and not beating them up too much to keep the lap times down. So there's a battle on with the 77 and the 99 and the 3, just beating and banging off of turn number 4, Jimmy.
Yeah, going back there with the 99, last week's winner, the 3 and the 77, all doing a great battle back here at 4th, 5th, and 6th. So they're trading paint just a little bit. I'm sure running each other, trying to see what will work and what will not for the feature that is just around the corner, literally, as these drivers are trying to finish up heat number 2 here at Five Flags, Pensacola.
It's a lot of it's just fun to watch. I watch these guys go into the corner and yaw out that back into that car and lean on that right rear. It looks like they're going to go around, but then it catches and they go. Jimmy, it's so much fun to watch. I wish I could go here one day and watch a race, because I love modifieds late models on a track like this. I do like modifieds too. But as we're
definitely a lot of fun. If you mean, unless you got tickets early or you like crowds, obviously the Snowball Derby here is held here and is one of the big attractions But I like going to the ones that aren't so crowded. You know, you get a real good seat, you get some good fan food down there, and just kind of enjoy yourself in the evening as the cars still rip around, and plenty of different vehicles that run around here, the late models. There's some trucks, some like street modified cars. I mean, it was a lot of fun the last time that I went. So, but right now we're getting down to that white flag. It looks like Justin Coleman still gonna hold on there as he comes out of turn number 4, looking to win heat number 2. Will be Justin Coleman, then Todd Lampier, followed by Aikman Pollard in 3rd. Rob Hattenbach's going to come in 4th. Lucas Whitehead back in 5th. John Quill Jr. in 6th. Christian Ruse in 7th. Brandon McNeil in 8th. Dalton Creech back in 9th. Trey Whitehead in 10th. And Connor Gadsden in the last position here for the second heat. So we get a small break, a 3-minute warm-up here, so drivers can get back out there, maybe turn a lap or two, kind of get their cars ready to go, maybe put a little more rubber down on the track. But things are going to change. It looks like the sun's heading down here late for Pensacola.
Yeah, Jimmy, I seen that the sun's going down, so I went and looked at the track temp. Track temp has gone down significantly from 118 down to 83 degrees. That's going to make things a lot more exciting, because you're going to have some grip and a lot more, hopefully, a lot more passing, a lot more, aggression. As we all know, everyone wants to go from first or last to first in the first couple of laps, but that's just not saying them. I do it all the time. I'm in last place and I want to go to the front. I think I'm Mr. Billy Bad Man.
Yeah, you can see how the colder temperatures are already bringing out the faster times. As James Honeycutt was able to turn a 16.5, the fastest lap of the evening here so far, in that number 76. And James did a fantastic job moving up to the field. Was only able to get in P number 3 for his heat race, but we will after this warm up go down for the final event here. Yeah, but it's going to be 133 laps. I believe the stage breaks at 50, and then we'll continue to go from there. And you see people trying to push their cars a little bit harder, see how far they can push it coming out of turn 4, or how early they can get on the gas. And Derek, I think with only 2 sets of tires, I think there's a little bit of strategy involved in this one.
Yeah, as we've seen in the heat races, the times really didn't fall off too much. So it's going to be interesting to see how much the lap time is going to fall off with it being cooler, because obviously you can go faster, which means you're going to push it a little bit harder, drive it harder in the corner, get in the brakes a little harder, which means more heat in the tire. So it's going to make everything, get a little looser quicker. And then you only get 2 sets of tires and 1 fast repair. So, track position is very much key. As you can see, both guys in the heats got out to a lead and held it for the entire race. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. Who's going to come in and take fuel, who's going to play the fuel strategy type. And it all depends on how many cautions we have. So, they might not have to stop at all, but
yeah, these drivers will be able to have a full tank of fuel. So I think the realm of 130 laps is going to be no problem at all to go from start to finish. It's really going to be about being in the right spot at the right time, to come in there and get them new tires and get back out there, or keep that position with them older tires. But I think there's going to be a certain point in time, if these drivers don't take care of their tires, where them old tires are really going to fall off. It's not going to benefit them any here at all. But see, practice and warm up is over, as they are getting ready to get ready for the final event here. And then see if I can show the official grid.
30 laps.
There you go. Christopher Tate will be on the pole. On the outside will be Justin Coleman. Then we go Christopher Smith and Todd Lamphere, followed by James Honeycutt and Aikman Pollard. Then Wesley Whitfield and Rob Hatton back there in row number 4. Row number 5, Clint Walker and Lucas Whitehead. Row number 6, Michael Stegall and John Quill Jr. And then following through everything that's going on right now as the cars are on the track. Come on. Things are not moving faster than I want them to. You got Jason Haynes, Christian Ruse, Christopher Cash, Brandon McNeil, Austin Cooper, Dalton Creech, Charles Whitehead, Trey Whitehead, Brock Whitehead, and Connor Gadsden back there in 22nd, and Ethan Shirtleff in 23rd. So the Whiteheads are in the back of this field, but I would expect them drivers to make their way to the front here before it is all said and done. So we'll see if the 30 can do what he did in the heat race. Will he be able to dominate, or will that 80 or 014, even the 76 push him, or get, let's go. I mean, I think it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. I'm excited. It's gonna happen. We've got twice as many cars, and anything can happen here. And there's a lot more. The awareness has to be a lot higher.
Yeah, you got twice as many egos. So as the green flag comes out, and Christopher Tate's going to lead us to the green flag, and he's going to jump down into the inside. It's going to be interesting how everyone's going to try to get out and get out.
014 get together. 014 up into the wall, so that's going to put a dampener back for the 014 here early on, as in lap 1, and then Connor Gadsden going to get together. It's going to bring out our first caution as we start number 2. So we'll go back and see what happened. Actually, brought out the caution here, and you can just see, just trying to work their way through the field. Gets a little bit of assist, and then ends up blinking out on me there a little bit. I guess turned around, but that's the number 11 of Connor Gadsden losing it just a little bit. But right before that happened there, it went, so much happened right there from the beginning.
Well, as that was happening, as Connor Gadsden was getting spun across the track on the stream, it looked like all you seen was smoke, no car. I was like, well, that's kind of funny. And then when you went to the replay, it makes sense. He blinked out. So, as unfortunate for Justin Coleman in that 014, he got collected with the Christopher Tate. So, or in the turn 1. And it's collected some damage, so hopefully not too bad. He doesn't have to take a fast repair.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to see what happened. It's not Brandon McNeil. It's the 014 of Justin Coleman. Oh, here we go. We'll go. Oops. Go the other way. Beat it up now. I did it all school way. I didn't get anything on SDK, but I would like just to kind of see what happened here with the 14 here. This is the early part of the race as they take the green flag. The 014 knows he needs to kind of get down, but you just see them getting just a little bit together. Then that 014, it's a major right front damage for the 014. So I'm sure he had to take it in the pits. But let's go back live here, as we're sketching back up here as we're still under caution. And I had the 014 definitely did take the fast repair to get back out there. He's going to have a long night ahead of him. Happened to use that fast repair early, so hopefully he can make his way back up to through the field. That's going to clear things out for the 80 of Christopher Smith and James Honeycutt. And we've seen James Honeycutt have his issues last week, but the 80 of Christopher Smith is going to be on the loud pedal this time. Is going to get a nice jump start over the rest of the field as they look to go 3 wide right behind them. So a lot of heavy racing as they thought better of it and not doing that. But there you can see the 02 looking down at that inside of that 26, has to check up, let him go by as Christopher Smith and Wesley Whitfield kind of pull away from the field just a little bit, single file, as they're now 2 by 2 behind that 26. And now they're starting to spread out just a little bit more.
Yeah, Jimmy, it looked like for a couple turns there, they wanted to go 3 wide, and they all thought better of it, lifted and led 2 wide. But as you can see, Clint Walker in the 0-2 and P number 4 were just right in front of Christopher Tate. So, you know, it looked like he wanted to take it 3 wide, and he said, no, I'll let it be. Oh, there's a caution somewhere on the racetrack. That's Austin Cooper, the 3rd.
Yeah, looks like Austin Cooper had an issue back here at lap number 9. We'll go follow behind him, see what happened. As you can see that Austin is kind of stuck to that outside. Oh, gets a little bit of love tap from the 51, sending that advanced auto parts machine around, and he was able to, you know, take his time a little bit. Very hard to get these cars turned around, but able to do so. But that brings out the caution. Ooh. It always scares me when they start getting going and other cars are still coming in. And also we had Ethan Shirtliff. Oh, he was the one that was involved. So.
Oh, he got tagged.
Oh, he got tagged too. So Ethan getting bumped around as well, doing a 360, not keeping it off the wall. No damage there to the 25. So a little early incidents here for some of the drivers, but we're on lap 11 of 130, and you know, before you know it, these laps will be gone, and hopefully things will calm down just a little bit. Look at some green flag racing, and I'm sure some of these drivers are already thinking about you know, making sure they have enough fuel, saving their tires, you know, because anything can happen, not wanting to bring those vehicles in to give up any track position, because, you know, cautions do tend to breed cautions, and a lot of drivers don't like seeing this, but, you know, it's short track racing, and these drivers are very, very competitive, and, you know, they do what they can, and we try to, you know, I guess the hardest part from sim racing and, you know, real racing is really getting that, you know, that awareness and how that depth perception, because you do the best you can with your monitors or your VR glasses. But right now, Christopher Smith out front over Wesley Whitfield, Todd Lamphere, Clint Walker, Christopher Tate for your top 5. We're on lap 13 here at Five Flags, Pensacola.
Yeah, Jimmy, you know, it's a very long race. We're only on lap 13 of 130. So, I mean, everyone's excited and wants to get some action in. You know, I'm liking seeing some of these racing deals going on here. You know, the almost the 3 wides, and, you know, like you said, you don't want to give up the track position, because I'm not saying the front's the safest spot, but it tends to be a little bit better than the middle of the pack, because if something happens, it's usually not in front of the leader, so unless he's lapping some people, but that's not happening right now, obviously. But, you know, in the middle of the pack, you kind of have to have some luck on missing some of these wrecks. Hopefully you can, you know, avoid some of these or slow up and not get hit from the behind as the lights are off. Pace car should be getting ready, and Barney's going to wave that green flag one more time. And Christopher Smith's going to have a nice little jump on that, going down into turn 1. Todd Lamphere is going to hop down and follow him as the 07 and 30 are battling back there for P number 3. Who's that? Wesley Whitfield. So it's going to be hard. See how fast Wesley can get down or get in front of the 30 or behind him, as the 02 of Clint Walker is going to try to make a pass as well on Wesley. So Wesley has his work cut out for him, Jimmy, trying to get down in front of Clint. Getting a little close there, but still trying to make it work. Is he going to do it this lap? Yep, he's going to haul him off and get down behind the 30 car.
He's able to make that move work, and, you know, and that could have been a little bit on the 02, just letting up just that little bit, allowing that 07 to duck down in there. So maybe, you know, free down the road here during this race, maybe the 07 will do the 02 the same favor if come down to it. But a lot of things going on right now. A couple people in pit lane. Got Jason Haynes crashed. Another caution out here on lap 18. So we'll go back and see what happened to Jason as we'll hop behind. Jason Haynes, not Whitehead. we hop behind that number 66 as he is on the outside. Oh, it comes down, the 36 comes up, and small pit maneuver as the 36 and the 66 get tangled up, and you can see some major damage there on that 36 of Dalton Creech. So Dalton not having the best of luck here, as you can see, as he's trying to work that car around, and he's not going to be able to bring that thing down in the pit entry, as he missed the entry right there. So he's going to have to take a quick tow, and that's something you want to do on a short track. As you know, the laps go, as the cars go around, you're going to go down just a few laps. So we already have a few drivers down a few laps. You got Austin Cooper down 1 lap, Dalton Creech down 2. So tough break for those 2 drivers, but right now it's all Christopher Smith, and the guy on the move back up to P number 11 already is that 014 of Justin Coleman.
Yeah, Jimmy, he's making quick work of everyone in the back to get up to P number 11. You know, obviously the crashes do help get some of these cars past as they Recce gets to go by, but and miss it, but you know, it's not that bad. He's done a pretty good job. Jonathan Quill in P number 13 in that 77 car. Trey Whitehead in the T-Mobile machine Toyota Camry. I like that paint scheme. I like the matted black with that pink on there of T-Mobile, so yeah. It really is nice, and it pops. And it's 5G, but it's not LTE, so you know, hopefully that doesn't translate to the motor.
We'll see what that 23 does have to offer for the rest of the race, but he currently is the biggest mover so far, up 10 spots, starting back there in that 20th position, finding himself currently in P number 10, so maybe a little bit of lady luck on his side here tonight for the feature, but the one that has the luck at the moment is that 80, looking to maybe get another great finish here for race number 2 with the Smoky Mountain Motorsports. And again, just a shout out to all the fans out there that are watching. If you got a favorite driver out there and I haven't clicked on them in a while, let me know. I'll gladly move over to see where your favorite driver is right now, but we're going to go back under green here, and the 80 is going to get out to a nice start. That 30 right on that back bumper of the 80 where he wanted to be is going to pull off that number 2, so we're going to move things back just a little bit into P number 3. The 02 has got that pretty much secured right now, and that's Clint Walker. And then back there, last week's winner of that 99 of Rob Hattenback, just keeping it down to the inside. And you know, the drivers that seem to get stuck to the outside, you know, you get up there and you almost feel hopelessness for a little bit until you get your car down to the inside. Like, how many spots am I going to lose before I can get down to the inside, or you know, somebody washes up high and I can stick my nose down there. So you can see the first 5 drivers all the way back to that number 20, actually 6 drivers back to the 26, finally single file, and then you have James Honeycutt fighting for P number 7, the 07 there of Wesley Whitefield. Oh, and the 76 of Napa goes around again. I can see somebody flipping over to our right. That's the number 66. So we got a big one here on lap 27 as they get together yet again here at Pensacola. We'll kind of go back here, see what happened to the 3. Oh, just touches the 76. The 014 touches the 3. The 31 gets in the back of I think that is the 66. So a few drivers getting wrapped up in that one. That was riding on with Lucas Whithead. We'll go back with Jason Haynes, see what happened with him. Oh, maybe a little bit of net code there by the 69 of Christopher Cash, but 69 goes up on his side as it looks like, yeah, as he falls back down on his 4 tires. You can see 69 of Christopher Cash. Oh, 76 just missing the 69 as he was trying to get his machine going. Oh, and the 25 comes down and slaps the 69 in the fender. So, yeah, it's so you get under the urgency while under caution to get, make sure you get back around, catch up to everybody, get back in the pits, but really got to watch them relatives close so you don't damage your car any further or ruin anybody else's race. But right now, it's busy. It's busy, Derek. Lap 30 of 130. Christopher Smith out front with Christopher Tate finds himself back in P number 2. Clint Walker's in 3rd. Rob Hatton back there in 4th place. Rob Pollard. Rob Hattenback's in 4th. Aikman Pollard is in 5th. Todd Lapierre's in 6th. Wesley Whitfield in 7th. Trey Whitehead's in 8th. Michael Stegall in 9th. John Quill in 10th. Brock Whitehead's in 11th. Connor Gadsden is back in P number 12. Christian Ruse in 13th. Charles Whitehead in 14th. James Honeycutt falls to P number 15. Austin Cooper is back there in 16th. Brandon McNeil 17th. Lucas Whitehead 18th. Ethan Shirtliff in 19th. And Justin Coleman for your top 20. So we have 18 cars still in the lead lap as Lucas Whitehead will be that 18th vehicle in the field here. So things are interesting, Derek, and you kind of want to think, are these drivers going to calm down just a little bit after last week's showing? Maybe not what they wanted to do in a couple one too many cautions. So we'll see what these drivers could put together and see if they can string along a great green flag run here. As now we have 31 laps, or excuse me, 30 laps in the book, or 31 laps in the books as we just crossed the start-finish line, and the lights are off on the pace car, so we should be going green next time by. The lights are off on the pace car as we head down the back stretch. Entering down into turn number 3. The 80 is down in the inside. 30 is on the outside. Gonna look for that awesome start there by that 30 so he can fall right down below the 80. But the 02, I'm sure, is going to try to fend that off. The 30's got some work for him cut out for himself so he doesn't fall back behind. So how will they handle it? But it looks like the 30 gets a tremendous run coming out of 2. Still on that outside, going down into 3. The first time we've seen that outside kind of work. Oh, and he's able to cut the nose of the 80 off, so that maybe the 80 lifted just a little bit to allow that 30 to get by. But it is now Christopher Tate out front over the 80 of Christopher Smith. And then back in 3rd place is Clint Walker. Aikman Pollard back in 4th. And Wesley Whitfield in that 07 round out your top 5. A lot of the cars going single file. Got a little bit of an accident going around. Looks like Brock Whitehead has crashed. So caution flag is out again yet here on 35. So we will go back there and catch what happened to Brock Whitehead. You can see that happening in front of Charles there. But it looks like Brock down to that inside. Gets a little tag from the 77. I don't think that's the 76. I think that was the 11. I think that was Austin Cooper. No. Yeah, some cars going around after the fact. You see the 77 getting involved as well. Nowhere to go. Just kind of gets caught up with that 31. Doing that 77 machine around. You see the 25 going around. 3 doing some avoidance. A lot of avoidance going on here early here as we are now on lap 37 of 130. It looks like I might
Can you hear me now, Jimmy?
Yeah, there he is. Derek Sherman coming back in as sound like I finally heard the alert saying you disappeared. So welcome back, Derek. As didn't miss much. Kosh came out here. We're on lap 38 of 130. Christopher Tate's out front over Christopher Smith.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, Jimmy. My mic decided not to work or something. I don't know. I was talking, and I guess I was helping you ignore me.
Technical difficulties happen not only to the drivers and their vehicles, but sometimes up here in the booth as well. Usually I'm pretty blessed with having a pretty decent stable connection with iRacing and been able to pull through a lot of these situations, but had my issues in the past, and hopefully things will continue to go smoothly here as Derek couples back up his bike and he's ready to go. But we're getting ready to. I think some of these drivers are just they want to go. The fight, the drive to win is high with a lot of these drivers, and I think with these cooler tracks, they're really putting in some faster times, and they're really pushing the limits of these cars right now there, Derek.
Yeah, Jimmy, obviously the top lane doesn't have the great restart capabilities, obviously, because the leader starts down low. But, it's, hurry up, get down, and try to get down in front of some stuff. And you don't have a spotter, and your spotter in iRacing is not always the greatest. He says clear, but you're not clear. So I know if I'm in the P2, 4, or 6, I want to hurry up and get down low before I lose a lot of positions. As you can see, Christopher Smith is going to get that green flag, he's not getting the green flag, but Christopher Tate's going to get the green flag, but they're going to go down. He's going to get down in front of Clint Walker in the O2, and Clint's going to guard that bottom lane as close as he can, so no one can get down in front of him as he's going to.
Yeah, the 30 just using that high side. He's been the first car of the evening being able to use the higher side to his advantage, pinching that 80 down just a little bit, and 80 had to lift in order to not cause an accident. And these two drivers up front have been battling. They battled during the first heat, and they're yet battling again here in the final race here, the main event. But the O2 of Clint Walker not going anywhere. He's been pretty fast all night, looking to secure that P number 3, get up here in the booth and talk to us. But no, he's not letting them leaders run away just yet. Also the 889 of Aikman Pollard back there in P number 4, and then the 07 of somebody sideways, the 12 there, and they're coming out of 4. Caution flag is out as the leaders had to avoid that one.
Yeah, that they've been crashed for a minute, Jeff or Jimmy, but I was just wondering what was going on there, why the caution didn't come out.
I'm trying to find out what happened here.
Connor Gatson.
That's an old one. We are on. We're back here on what lap are we on right now? 45. So.
Yeah.
Who was that?
It should be a lap 44 or 43. It was the 12 of Austin Cooper that was in the middle of the track.
Found it. The Advanced Auto Parts not finding Lady Luck tonight, but you can see the 77 going around in front of him. And then this 12 just finds himself facing the other way. You can see he's trying to back that machine around, and obviously he's down at the bottom of the track, and he probably sees his relative, and look how fast, even though the caution didn't go out until they went by him. A good heads up on the leaders, and the 12 for just maintaining, and he's really trying to find the time when to go, as now he's able to get that 12 machine going. And these cars don't turn very well. As you can see, he's doing like a 12-point turn to get that thing around here. But tough luck there for the 12 in the advanced auto parts car here on lap 43.
I'm not quite sure, Jimmy, but I don't think Austin Cooper raced last week, so
he did not.
I think it's his turn for the auto parts from Advance to come and rebuild his car for this week. So a
little bit of, like I said, the number 12 not finding Lady Luck here tonight so far. We're on lap 48 of 130, so we're working on that third of the way done here, and 30's out front over the 80. So Christopher Smith out on that front row, then Clint Walker and Aikman Pollard in row number 2, and it's really been the battle of kind of track position, like where do you want to be, and like how's this all going to play out when we get down to that final lap, and people's fast repairs, how much damage does people have done to the car, can they stay out there, are they down power, just you can really gimp around a car here at this rate for quite a while. So we'll see what these drivers do, and if they decide to make any pit stop here. As we're on lap 49, and I know the comp caution, I believe, was at lap 50. So I'm wondering if they're going to extend it or call this or make the first disc caution their comp caution. So we will find out. But pace car is in.
And they're off as Christopher Tate's going to take him to the green flag, hop up front. Christopher Smith is going to hop down below him. Clint Walker and the 89 of Aikman Pollard is going to fight for P number 3, and Aikman's going to look like he's going to take going to lose, tap the wall, going to take that P3 spot away from Clint Walker and the O2, and there is a caution coming out. Don't know what for.
Another caution is out, and it might be for. Is it Justin Coleman? No. I don't know. That'd be the comp caution.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So the race control has thrown a comp caution here when it was supposed to be thrown. So they got a chance to get around the track here, cleanly. And then now the drivers, I'm sure, will be thinking about coming in and not coming in. But it looks like the 30 is going to stay out. So he's going to gamble a little bit.
Well, it's not a bad idea, Jimmy, considering how many cautions we have. Obviously lap times weren't that much. So, maybe track position, don't want to make a mistake. Eliminate that one extra mistake that you can make on pit road and lose a lot of spots. But it also is going to work out because he will have at least one more set than a couple of these guys that came in towards the end of the race. So,
we'll see. We'll see if 50 laps or 80 laps are really going to make a difference. We're going to see first hand here. You can see some of these other drivers, coming in on lap 46 was Lucas Whitehead able to get back on he was maintained on the lead lap, and he's sitting there in P number 3. Back there you see Austin Cooper with a pretty significant jump in positions as well, as he finds himself in P number 7 right now. He's going to move back just a little bit, but it's going to be Christopher Tate and John Quill up front. So we'll see how those two drivers handle being in that position.
What's interesting is Todd Lamphere is going to go a lap down from making a pit stop, but it looks like I don't know if he went around or not. Nope, he's back on the lead lap, so that's good for him. They're very short lap times here, especially under caution compared, and they don't have the fastest pit stops in these things. So,
no, definitely not the fastest of lap times here. But we're on lap 55 of 130. We got plenty of racing to go. And these drivers have the ability to put some green flag runs in, and it's early days here with this series, and a few new faces yet again this week. So. Still trying to find that consistency of who is going to be continuously out here for this series. But right now, somebody that we've seen up front a few times now is that 30 of Christopher Tate, and obviously John Quill Jr. trying to show his presence as well.
Jimmy, also I want to get about this time last week we had a couple dropouts, but we only have one out for tonight. So glad to see, even though they're not having a good night, sticking around, Jimmy.
It really does take some, you have a rough night, and it's all about, getting back out there, because you never know what's going to happen. As you can see how fast things can turn around for some of these drivers. As you see in the 014, he was up front, and then he went to the back, and then he made his way back up. I think he was up to like 7th or 8th. He ended up getting involved in another incident. Finds himself 2 laps down. So Justin Coleman having a little bit of rough luck, knowing that he's going to be a fast car. So it's just a matter of time. If he can stay in his position, a few caution laps come out, he might be starting to get those back. But the 30's going to get on the loud pedal, going to pull out a nice lead there, and then they're going to allow that 3 of Lucas Whitehead to pull in that P number 2. So 0-2 of Clint Walker is now to the inside of the 77 of John Quill Jr. So, John not having those new tires, one of the drivers to stay out has got to fight some of these cars that got maybe fresh tires for that inside line that we've seen dominate so far here tonight.
Yeah, as you can see, John's losing a lot of spots. He's stuck on the outside, and those fresh tires are passing him like it's nothing. He's going to beat and bang with Trey Whitehead in the 23 T-Mobile machine. He's made a nice recovery after having a few incidences tonight. So, he's going to wash up into the 77. Oh, 77 looks like he got some damage there on the right front, and left front. But, Jimmy, this is exciting to see the strategy play out. Christopher Tate's having a pretty good, he had a good a jump on the green flag, and having a couple guys having old tires, holding up the rest of the field a little bit so he can stretch that lead out a little bit, as Clint Walker has made it around and back.
Good cars get together there on the backstretch, and the 014 is on his lid. He's going for a ride as we witnessed that firsthand, as some vehicles have just went flying through the air. So a rough start here for that 014, as again he finds himself upside down and not enjoying life there on lap 63.
I know Fly Pensacola is not too terribly far from Talladega, but that obviously looked like a Talladega roll right there, Jimmy.
Yeah, and I'm going to see if I can catch Justin Coleman here. I'll change cameras so we can catch the whole thing. As you can see that 1-4 just on his lid, spinning down the backstretch.
Okay, the grass is going to go down there. One. Oh.
Only a few times going around, but not something you want to see, as he was trying to slides up into the 51. Not much he could do, just trying to get that 14 together, and I believe he ends up towing that machine back to the pits, I believe. Yeah, he jumps into the pits. So tough break for the 014, as start off things hot, Derek, and you can see how fast things happen. You just one mistake and you find yourself in the back, and then another mistake and you're on your lid, trying to figure out what side is up, rolling down the backstretch.
And that's right, Jimmy. It's some days you have lady luck on your side, and sometimes you don't. But they say, if you don't have bad luck, you don't have any luck at all. So I'll take the bad luck sometimes, even though it's frustrating. He used a fast repair early in the race, and unfortunately he got caught up in another one, stuck in there, and it's going to probably be a pretty lengthy repair on this one. So see if he sticks around and comes back out, because it can happen that he can come back out and gain a couple positions.
Yeah, it's one thing you want to do your best and not give up, and obviously with the cautions happening, and you gotta look and dive and try to make your way around here, survive, just continue to drive your race, avoid the wrecks, play very heads up racing, and you can find yourself in a position to come across that finish line on the podium. I mean, look at last week on how things changed when the Whitehead brothers got together, and they were up front, and then people, fourth, fifth, and sixth moved up through the field to grab those podium spots for the evening. But we're on lap 67 of 130, so just over halfway mark. Christopher Tate out front as the pace car is in, so that 30 and 02 are going to get on the loud pedal and head down into turn number 1.
Yeah, as you can see, he gets a nice big jump again on the rest of the field. He's going to have his choosing of the lanes going into turn 3. Aikman Polar is going to be in P number 2, and the 3 of Lucas Whitehead is getting a little loose in front of the crowd. So he's going to be on the high side, as Christopher Smith is going to battle with him, it looks like, for P number 3. As you're on board with Clint Walker in P number 6. That's a good view there, Jimmy.
Yeah, I just want to hop on board with Clint Walker as the battle ensues in front of him between the 80, the 3, and the 07, really trying to look for that opening. So, you know, if I'm Clint Walker back here in 02, I'm just going to maintain my line. He already got stuck on the outside. That's how he found himself back in this position. So you're just going to watch these drivers and see if he can get his nose stuck together. But to keep things green, you know, I think I'm just going to maintain my line, hit my marks, keep my distance just a little bit, and hopefully the guy behind me does the same.
Yeah, Jimmy, it's a great view. He's obviously moved up in the heat race pretty well and kept his nose clean there, and he's kept his nose clean here. So far tonight, so he hasn't found any bad luck. So I think he's on the right track. So as you're on top, we're riding with Christopher Ruse in the P in the number 14 machine, battling with the 76 of James Honeycutt in the Napa know-how machine.
And Hattenback and Austin Cooper get touching just a little bit, sending 99 up the track just a little bit. So a little nudge there from the 12 or the 76 on your screen, pushing that 99 kind of out of position. So looks like and the 76 pushes the corner too hard, and they're going to go sideways as the 99 locks up. It takes a T-bone from the 51 of Charles Whitehead.
Oh, that's obviously not what you want to see in the number 99 Bad Company / United States Marines paint scheme there. So, yeah, it just almost looks like the 76 got a little touched the inside wall and had driven it right up the track into him. So
yeah, you can see, if you watch the front, excuse me, we'll pause this here and then we'll wind it back. Just watch the tires of that 76. Oops. You can see him. He cranks them. He's going into turn 1, and you should be obviously off the gas, and that's where you see the flames come out of the car. But it looked almost like maybe he net coated off the wall, and you can see those tires were turned to the left, but just not enough brakes to drag that car around to get it to turn down. Ends up tapping the 99, sending them around, pulling out the caution, but to top it off, that 51. That guy disappeared. The 51 nowhere to go and just T-bones that 99.
Reappears on his lid and disappears.
Yes.
Those are always fun. Guess where I'm at?
Yeah, I think there's some pretty good videos throughout the internet of some of the guys blinking. I think the most the one I laughed about was at Road Atlanta. Before you go up over the hill before you get to the last turn in Road Atlanta, there's that bridge overhead, and somebody blinked so bad their car hopped up and it hit that bridge and it caused them to have an accident. The guy went flying in the air. I know it's on some video. I'll have to see if I can find it and show it to you, but I laughed for quite a while watching that because usually that doesn't happen to the blinker.
No. The blinker usually is safe from everyone. But unfortunately, tonight the 76s have some issues. So unfortunately for him, hopefully he can get his car back out on the track. As you can see, James Honeycutt in the 76 and P number 8 holding strong there in the top 10 most of the night. Just a couple spots behind the 02 and the 23 and P number 7 of Trey Whitehead, I believe, is in the 23. Yes, I am right.
Yeah, Trey Whitehead. Trey Whitehead being our biggest mover so far tonight, up 13 positions in that P number 7 and that number 23 T-Mobile machine. And he's out on the inside, so he's looking to maybe get a few more spots here as the pace car is in. The 30 is going to get back on the loud pedal here, so that number 30 is going to jump out front with the 80 of Christopher Smith. So again, we have the 80, the 30, and the 80 back up front, battling for the lead as everybody is 2x2. You have the 3 of Lucas Whitehead finds himself up front now, fighting for that P number 3. Ooh, back there, you see him in the 89 touched ever so slightly. Then you have the 07. So is the outside starting to come alive? As you can see, the 07 trying to use that outside to get around the 3.
You know, Jimmy, it's looking like it's going to work too. They're side by side. He nudges ahead down the front stretch, going into turn 1 and 2, and he's going to probably have the nice run on the outside. And, you know,
close.
You know, it looks like, yeah, man. It's one of those things, Jimmy. Oh, you got it. You got it out coming out of 4.
Yeah, it's the second time tonight we've seen the outside overcome the inside line. So is the outside starting to come to life? Will any of the other drivers start pushing their vehicles out to that outside? I know it's a comfort zone thing. You know, it's sometimes hard to really know where that wall is on your right side, you know, through, you know, monitors or even VR. It's sometimes really difficult to see how far away something is, but the 07 making that look easy as he made his way around Lucas Whitehead to take away P number 4. But right now, oh, it looks like we have Michael Stegall crashing here on lap. Oh, no, that's a while ago. I think. No. That was recent. See what happened here. It's the Michael Stegall here. Oh, he just pulled it down into the exit of pit lane and exit. So maybe something came up where he had to attend to. So pulling out of the race, Michael Stegall. So I wasn't going crazy there. That's always a good thing. But right now, Christopher Tate got a nice little lead over Christopher Smith. And that's, I think, the biggest we've seen so far. You know, can these drivers start working their way around and get working their way into lap traffic? Aikman Pollard back there in P number 3. He's got his hands full with Wesley Whitfield, and we've seen that 07 not too long ago use it outside. Right now he's kind of just following in suit with this 89, maybe just trying to break away from the rest of the pack, and that's not a bad thing to do, as you know, we're here on lap 90 of 130, so 40 laps are remaining, and you can see that 07 catching back up to the 89. So 89 is going to have his hands full, as we've seen that 07 use the high side. Ooh, caution is out, and it looks like Charles Whitehead went off track. So we'll see what happened to Charles Whitehead.
I believe it might be a stage. I believe it's a stage break because the
another stage break. Okay. Well, no, he went up. No, well, the 51 did go off the track and come back up. So I don't know if that was enough to bring out the caution from the race control, but you know, the race control does a fantastic job, and it's probably one of the rougher jobs. You know, some people like it, and some people don't, and you just gotta do what you think is right. And the league admins just have to trust that guy in that position, because you know, sometimes a lot of the league admins, they get out there and they want to race, and they're relying on that one guy to make the right calls. And nobody's perfect. Sometimes you get it wrong, but most of the times they get it right. And a lot of times when you're driving a car, you don't want to think that you're the one that did something wrong, but you might have. But right now, it looks like the 30 is going to go down into the pits and finally go down and maybe get some fuel and tires to finish this thing out here. But right now, Christopher Smith has finally got the 80 machine back up front.
You know, Jimmy, that's it's going to be interesting, as we only have 12 cars on the lead lap, so he's not going to fall too far behind. So well, he's in ninth position right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, he didn't fall too far back. So I mean, it's not a bad thing. He didn't fall, but it's still a hornet's nest back there. I mean,
yeah, it's trying to stay out of the mess, you know, and it's almost midfield, a little farther in midfield, not too much more, maybe a row, and he's in P number 10, so he's gonna. No, he's P number 9. So he has P number 9, so he should be down on the inside. So he shouldn't lose any positions, you know, being stuck in that outside. And we all know that the first 2 laps on the newer tires aren't fantastic, because they're not warmed up yet.
Yeah, Jimmy, you know, it's going to be exciting to watch him to come through the field and see how is he going to Oh, it looks like he's in P number 8 right now.
And just see
that's going to be
looking over at
rough.
Yeah, looking over at chat, see John Quill said he's out for the race. So hopefully next week is a much better event for John, as we've seen him put on some pretty decent showings. Just luck not turned his way here tonight at Five Flags, and it gets frustrating quick. And I think that's part of the reason why I sway away from the short tracks. But man, they're so fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, they're fun to watch, they're fun to call, but they're not fun to drive for me sometimes. So as Christopher Smith gets on the loud pedal and takes the green flag, he's going to get a nice big jump over Aikman Pollard in the P number 2 spot. So as Trey Whitehead's going to battle Lucas Whitehead for P number 3, it's going to be interesting to see if Trey's going to be able to hold off Lucas and make the pass on the outside, as we've seen some others make happen. So, gets a little loose. Lucas is going to edge out Trey, as the 76 of James Honeycutt is going to make the try to battle for that P number 4 spot. And look no further, that number 30 machine of Christopher Tate is moving on up as quick as you can see flash coming by you. So probably the worst analogy ever, Jimmy, but he's making his way up there pretty quick.
We'll get you to be able to shoot them analogies out here a lot quicker the more we do this. But the 76 holding that 30 off right now on that outside, as the 30 is doing it the hard way. Gonna work that high side, and like I said earlier, I think the high side is really coming into play. But a caution flag is out yet again. And I'm not quite sure why.
This
is this ain't a 100. No way. Oh, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not sure, Derek. I'm a little confused on this one.
I think it's the stage breaking. They did say 50 and 100. So
okay. All right. So stage break number 2. As some of the drivers come in, who's going to stay out? You can see the 30 is staying out, as he elected to come in earlier. So good call.
And that's a awesome call.
A good call there by the 30 coming in a little bit earlier. I think a little bit of a gamble, I think. But again, Wesley Whitfield find himself in a position here with that 07. He's been up here all night, so wanted to, some gambling going on here with a few of these drivers. You see that 69. Oh, he's Christopher Cash a few laps down. I thought he was in P number 3 there for a second. Because Christopher Cash was able to capitalize on cautions last week and roll in a P number 3 for the inaugural race of the season. But yeah, 30 looking good right now and making that good call a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, Jimmy, it's Christopher Tate did awesome. He went like almost 90 some laps on that set of tires and kept the lead the entire time. So when that caution came out a couple laps ago, he came in, probably realized, we're probably going to have another one by lap 100. So I think it'll work out for him, especially if it stays green. I think he he managed his tires pretty well the first 100 laps or 90 laps.
Yeah, it was definitely a great call by the 30 to put himself in a position to be back up front after that late caution before lap 100. But the 07 looking good. Now the 07's going to have that task of trying to get that good start and fall in that P number 2. And I think really where it falls off is that that third place, has to fend off P number 4. Where you see a lot of the battling, and it's going to be up to the 31 of Brock Whitehead to see if he can make his way around the 02 there of Clint Walker.
Yeah, Jimmy, it all depends on how well the 07 of Wesley gets a restart, because as you can see, Christopher Tate's on that loud pedal again. Wesley's going to battle with Clint Walker for the P number 2 spot. See, Wesley has managed to use that high line to make passes as they're trying to go 3 wide back in the pack, as they thought better of it and they backed off. So, the 23 and the 89. 89 gets into the wall. 76 going to get past the 89 for P number 8. So Trey Whitehead and James Honeycutt are on the move up by 1 spot, heading towards the front, wasting no time to get up there. So as that 89 is going to battle is 77 for the P number 8 spot. As you can see, Christopher Smith battling for the P number 3 spot with Wesley Whitfield there, as he's going to take that P number 3 spot away from Wesley. And Christopher's going to try to make quick work of Clint Walker for P number 2, Jimmy. He's being awfully aggressive, and I don't blame him. He feels good with those fresh Goodyear rubbers on underneath his car. So
we're getting some of the fastest times of the race right now, Derek. We're down to 16.5, 16.4. There are a lot of good lap times showing up here by these drivers as the track is cooling down. We'll go ahead and just bring it up. I'll show the weather, see what the track is at. Track is at now a nice cool 84 degrees as the sun has set here in Florida to finish up tonight's race. But Christopher Tate, nice over 1 second lead over this battle as the 80, the 02, the 07, and the 3 are battling it out for the second, third, and fourth positions.
As the 07 and the 02 go to beat and bang coming out of turn 4. The 02 is not going to give any room to the 07 as he's going to battle back, try to battle, who's that? Lucas Whitehead for P number 4. Falling back to P number 5 for Clint Walker as he got trapped on the high side. Jimmy, it's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to play out. They're starting to get a little racy here. I'm starting to like it. It's getting spread out, beating and banging a little bit, nothing too serious. As you can see, Aikman Pollard in P number 6 battling with Trey Whitehead in the 23 machine for P number 6. So, and not too far is the 76 of there's Trey Whitehead there, and the T-Mobile Toyota Camry trying to chase down
who you looking for?
Pollard.
Aikman Pollard is back there in the 89, is in P number 6.
Yeah, no, I see you're going through the field, so.
Yeah, just trying to catch some of the closer racing as leaders are kind of spread out. They're single file right now. Christopher Tate out to a pretty decent lead as Christopher Smith's continuing to run him down, but that could be just Tate saving his tires a little bit, because it does take a little bit to get around each other on this 0.4 half a mile track, and it just gets very complicated. And you can see all the cautions that happened on earlier on in the race. We're on a little bit of a longer run here as we are on now lap 120 of 130. Only 11 laps remaining. Christopher Tate in a great position to possibly will walk away tonight as a winner of the 130 laps here at Five Flags in Pensacola.
Yeah, he got off to a good start on that restart, Jimmy, and Christopher Smith and Clint Walker were battling out along with Wesley Whitfield there for P number 2. So it gave Christopher Tate a little bit of time and to stretch that lead out. And you know what? We got less than 10 laps to go, Jimmy, and Christopher Smith is not wasting any time trying to catch on up, as he's pushing it. He's pushing it. I wonder if Christopher Tate's dangling the lead out in front of him, and once he gets there, he's just going to lay it all on the line. But we still have roughly 8 laps to go. Seven laps to go right now. So, Jimmy, as you can see, Trey Whitehead and James Honeycutt switched spots for the P number 7 spot. It's interesting to see how everything's playing out, Jimmy, as we get stretched out and everyone's just, racing hard but clean. As you can see, Brock Whitehead battling with, I don't think it's for position. Oh, maybe, yep, Austin Cooper, that is for position. So, as you see, Rob Hottenback passing Brock Whitehead, and that's not for position. Rob's 27 laps down. Sorry for Rob, last week's winner. So, there's Christian Ruse in the number 14 smoking pit. Running in P number 11. Not a bad run. He's had his up and downs today, Jimmy. As you can see, Christopher Tate still leading, just under a half a second lead on Christopher Smith, as Christopher Smith's trying to run him down. Christopher Tate's had his way with the field tonight, leading most of this race, dominating the heat race and most of this feature there, Jimmy.
Yeah, so Tate just kind of was able to walk out to a pretty decent lead, but caution flag flies here on lap 29 of 130. Only one lap short from going to the final. So we're going to have our first green-white checkered of the evening here and go into overtime. We're going to see what happens at number 3 of Lucas Whitehead.
Jimmy, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, he got down on that apron, coming out of 4, trying to make up a little room for P number 3, and ends up costing him a lot of time. And then you have Brock Whitehead locking it up, not getting into one of the fellow drivers on the track. Yep, and you see, just locking it up. That was like a reaction, a reaction slide.
I bet you saying some pretty choice words right now.
Oh yeah.
To himself. I feel you, Brock. I've been there, done that, and unfortunately, Lucas, you caught the apron, buddy, and now you find yourself back in the back. So
I am
now.
Is it just one green-white flag checkered, or do they get 2? I know some leagues I've broadcast in some leagues
they get 2.
They get two. Yeah, I've been in some leagues where they've had up to like 4 or 5. So we'll see if we can get this done in the first run. But let's go down a quick rundown of where everybody stands at this moment as we round out these final laps here. We're looking for a shootout here at Five Flags, Pensacola, but Christopher Tate leads over Christopher Smith, and then Wesley Whitfield, Clint Walker, Aikman Pollard, James Honeycutt, Trey Whitehead, Austin Cooper, Christian Ruse, Brock Whitehead is your top 10. Charles Whitehead, Brandon McNeil, Todd Lamphere, Charles Whitehead and P11 is the last car in the lead lap. So any one of those drivers still in contentions to win here tonight. Brandon McNeil, Brandon McNeil is 1 lap down. Todd Lamphere is 2 laps down. Lucas Whitehead is out at 3 laps down. Christopher Cash is in 15th. He's 10 laps down. Rob Hattenback, rough night tonight, 27 laps down in P16. And then Michael Stegall, John Quill, Connor Gadsden. Yeah, and back there in 19th, Ethan Shirtliff in 20th, Justin Coleman, 21st, Jason Haynes in 22nd, and Dalton Creech for your 23 car field here tonight. So these lights, the car lights are still on, so a few more laps around here. I don't think fuel's an issue. It's just really how well can these drivers battle each other for a few more laps to end this thing here tonight at Five Flags.
Jimmy, it's going to be really interesting. This right now is all in Christopher Tate's hands because he gets a nice big jump, and if Christopher Smith doesn't get a good restart, it's pretty much difficult to get around Christopher Tate. So Christopher Tate's going to get on that loud pedal as you see them back already.
And the 23 is up on his lid before we even get going. Caution flag is out again before they even cross the start-finish line. So let's go back and see what happened to Trey Whitehead. And it's just people and trying to anticipate the start. Slinky, Slinkies are my best friend, but you can see getting shoved by the 14 to 99, giving him a shot, thinking they were going forward. Ends up with the that 23 up on his lid.
What was a good run going for Trey Whitehead is now upside down. So, unfortunately for Trey, I would really. That's one of those deals, Jimmy. I like Slinky in Toy Story, but I don't like being a Slinky in on a restart, man.
I mean, you can call it a Slinky, an accordion, or whatever it is, but it's just that anticipation of the start, and it's really it just gets worse the farther back it goes in the field, So, the first guy might just kind of like let up just a little bit, and then finally gets going, and it just kind of just compounds as it gets farther back in the field. And I've heard it called Slinky, I've heard it called an accordion. It's just a really bad time trying to go. You want to get that position. You can tell how competitive these drivers are, and that's why it ends up being like that. But you can't really get on the loud pedal till the guy in front of you goes. So unless you have perfect timing and everybody starts off exactly at the same millisecond, or those incidents like this at the start will happen. But right now, Christopher Tate enjoying this, knowing that this is probably the last time that they go around no matter what. So can they keep it clean? Can they end it under green? But the 30 is looking to win here tonight at Five Flags over the 80 of Christopher Smith. Then you have the 07 of Wesley Whitfield, Clint Walker, James Honeycutt for your top 5, Aikman Pollard, Austin Cooper, Brock Whitehead, Charles Whitehead, Christian Drews for your top 10. And that's it for your on lead lap drivers. So 10 drivers still in contention to win this thing here. How hard will these leaders battle for the lead? And will we see a repeat of last week where some of them drivers back just a little bit farther in the field and pull away with some podium positions?
Yeah, Jimmy, obviously, you want to finish the race under green flag conditions, but Christopher Tate's going to be able to get that nice big jump, and we're going to see how well Christopher Smith, he's had plenty of opportunities to see how Christopher Tate does it, has his restart, so see how good he can match Christopher Tate right now, so, and make this, this is going to be it. As Christopher Tate's going to get on the loud pedal, and we're off. He's going to take it a little high. Christopher Tate's going to get the nice lead. Christopher Smith is going to have to fend off the 02 of Clint Walker, as we should be coming to the white flag, and it's official. And whatever happens now, they got to race back to the line, Jimmy.
Yeah, and away he goes. The 30's got a nice little lead. The 80's got his position. Will the 07 get around the 02? As the 02 is able to get down to that inside in front of the 07 to take away that P number 3. But here they come down out of turn number 4. It'll be the number 30 of Christopher Tate, who wins the second race here at Five Flags Pensacola, also turning the fastest lap of the race at the best time possible with a 16.335. So congratulations to Christopher Tate. Second place will be Christopher Smith. Clint Walker in the 02 pulls off that P number 3 with that great start, being able to pull down in the front of Wesley Whitfield, who was up there all night long in that 07. Then you have Aikman Pollard back in 5th. Then James Honeycutt finishes pretty well tonight in the number 76 car in 6th. Brock Whitehead in 7th. Austin Cooper in 8th. Charles Whitehead 9th. Christian Roos 10th. 11 will be Brandon McNeil. Todd Lapierre in 12th. Trey Whitehead in 13th. Christopher Cash back in 14th. Lucas Whitehead in 15th. Rob Hattenback in 16th. Michael Stegall in 17th. John Quill in 18th. Connor Gadsden in 19th, Ethan Shirtleff in 20th, Justin Coleman in 21st, Jason Haynes and Dalton Creech rounding out your field here tonight. So what an ending, Derek. You just know how competitive these drivers are as they continue to try to get the fastest laps in, and it's really just a few more races. I believe that maybe next week I think you're going to see these really close racing and battling, but they're going to know how each other drives and what to look for. And I think we're going to start seeing some of these races go for a lot longer as far as green laps are concerned consecutively. But in either case, I enjoyed tonight. I enjoyed watching the racing. The heat races were great, and a lot of the racing that happened during the race was really something to watch and to see how these guys were able to navigate not only through the cautions but track positions and take advantage when they could. But we will wait for our drivers to get in the booth, and I'll give it over to Derek here to see if he has anything to say before we bring our drivers in.
Yeah, Jim, it was a lot of fun. The heat racing was a lot of fun to watch, to see how they got spread out, manage their tires on a hot track. As we went into the feature, it got cooler. It was obviously, a lot of fun to watch the guys battle real close, watching like Christopher Smith battle up through the field after pitting. So overall, a lot of the, small little adjustments, a little bit more patience by a few guys, and, track awareness. It's not too far off from that green flag from start to finish, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's not too much farther, and the drivers will be there. So we'll see. We got the drivers heading in the booth right now, and I'm going to see if I can pull down Clint Walker this week. Good, but
yeah.
Why can't I don't want to kick him. Why can't I grab him? I don't know. Anyways, we're going to go ahead down into the booth with the drivers again. This week, and I'll have to work with Chris to see if we can get this figured out. But anyways, let's go hop on down there with the top three. And again, this week, hop down in the top three channel with the top three that finished here at Five Flags, Pensacola. But we want to talk to our third place finisher first, Clint Walker. Can you hear us? This is Jimmy and Derek in the booth.
I got you.
Hey, buddy, you had one heck of a start there on that final green flag. That green flag start there, you were able to get an awesome start and were able to bring that 02 down in front of the 07 to take away that last and final podium position. So what was going through your head there at the end as you battled all night towards the front, but it was like your last chance to basically get up there on that podium?
Well, basically, I was starting outside the second row there in fourth. I knew if I didn't get a good start, I was going to get strung out and probably finish 8th or 9th or get wrecked. So my only goal was to try to get around on the outside, but it ended up opening up in the inside, and I just went for it. I was just trying to survive, to tell you the truth.
I mean, it looked like it was executed by perfection as you were able to bring that 02 down in front of the 07 by the slightest of margins to sneak away here with a third place finish. But in any case, an eventful night. I'm sure you drivers will have plenty of talking to go through for the evening, but in any case, I wanted to say congratulations from us up here in the booth and give you a little bit of time for any shout outs that you may have.
Thank y'all for posting it and broadcasting and everything. And I want to thank my wife, who has actually been sick for the last couple of days. So I want to thank her for letting me play around on these machines. And I also want to thank my father, my sister, and her husband, Ross, and son, who watch it every week for me. They watch every week, every time I race. So it is great to have that family support.
Yeah, it's definitely great to have the family support out there, and congratulations, and hopefully they're out there watching, and root on their favorite driver. And so again, congratulations on that P number 3. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good one.
And that would be your P number 3, Clint Walker, coming home in third place tonight here at Pensacola at Five Flags USA. But our second place finisher will be Christopher Smith. Take it away, Derek.
In the booth, do you got us?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Hey, pretty interesting race there. You fell back on a pit stop and went back to the front. Did you think you could get Christopher Tate at some point in the race, or was it more like a cat and mouse type of deal?
That last long green flag run we had, I was making good ground on him, but I don't know if he was saving or what. If we would have went green, I might have had a chance. It was just restarts. I was pretty bad on those restarts tonight. But yeah, I mean, he was a rocket tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you were running him down, and that high side didn't look very favorable for restarts, but you did bring it home, survive the chaos, come and finish MP number 2. So congratulations. Do you want to have shout outs to give or thanks that you want to give out? This would be the time to do it, man.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bad Company Racing, Chris putting on this league, all the guys that do everything. Thank y'all for broadcasting. Say hey to my dad. I know he's watching. I'm not going to get to run the whole series. We're running a super late model series next week, so it's been fun, these 2 races. So maybe on a bye week or something, we'll come and run another one.
All right. Well, congratulations and good luck with that. But from CRN, congratulations. You can go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, sir.
That would be RP to Christopher Smith in that 80 machine, and it's gonna miss him as we followed him in the past 2 weeks, having pretty good runs up front and giving plenty of entertainment here at CRN. But the winner tonight here, and I think it had to do a little bit with the well-timed last pit stop that he made, is that number 30 of Christopher Tate. Christopher, this is Jimmy and Derek up in the booth. You copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Not too bad. Hey, it's good to get you up in here and just see how your race went for you. What was going through your mind when you made that pit stop there right before lap 100?
That last pit stop, I know we had a caution on lap 75, I think. So from about that time, I kind of knew how I felt on old tires, and I was running my fastest laps on 50 lap old tires. So I knew a couple laps difference wouldn't really make a difference. So I figured I was hoping we get a caution with maybe 5 to 10 laps until the stage, and I could go ahead and pit. That way I wouldn't have to worry about losing first position and hopefully get a little barrier with people following me on pit road. So it somewhat worked out. I was hoping Smith would get a little bit further behind, but that didn't happen. He was fast tonight, and I really wasn't looking forward to having that last caution or last couple cautions. He was catching me. I was pushing as hard as I could, and he was really reeling me in. But I think I could have had it. Just I don't think there's enough laps left. Maybe 2 extra laps, and he would have had me.
Yeah, that's one thing here at Pensacola that we've seen. It's one thing to catch somebody; it's another to get around. But you were one of the drivers that was able to get that high side to work. Now, was it a line that you were able to just keep running, or was it just a kind of a once in a while thing there? Did it seem like that outside line really developed too well here? Only with the race, not going like the full green flag runs, and they were kind of running a little bit shorter here tonight.
I think mostly because the track really changed a whole lot between the heat race and the actual feature. Because on the heat race, I was sliding everywhere, as y'all might have seen, and I know Smith saw it because he was on my bumper the whole time. But really, the track gripped up a lot for the feature. I got to where I could really enter high, like in turn 1, and then kind of turn it down and get the straight run off. And it was really helping a lot. Like I was knocking off lap after lap. The harder you run, of course, the faster you burn your stuff up, and that's kind of what you see with Smith start catching me there at the end. But even on restarts, though, you could really send it in, and if you pinched them just enough, you could easily get the run off and clear them, and really just kind of set sail.
Either way, you did a fantastic job. Put yourself in the position that you needed to tonight. And just, you heard Smith there talking that he's, obviously getting involved in the other racing. But so you might be losing a little bit of competition out there, but there's plenty of competition with some of the other drivers behind you. They showed plenty of potential to get up there and battle with you for these short tracks. But again, from CRN and everybody up here in the booth and from home, I wanted to say congratulations and give you a little bit of time for any shout-outs that you may have.
Yeah, first and foremost, C-Top Manufacturing, 3F Racing, for them helping me out kind of in the real life late models and ARCA. Chris Cash for putting this on, let me in. My buddy Christian Reeves for inviting me in, and then really just everyone racing. Sad to see Smith go. I feel like we're best friends from racing neck and neck these past 2 weeks. But I mean, everyone in the league so far, it's been pretty fun. I've enjoyed it. It's my first actual late model league to be in, so far I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah, it's definitely a blast to watch these late model cars. I haven't had a chance to get into any league racing with them, but they definitely look like a lot of fun. And for somebody that doesn't like racing short tracks very often, you're really you guys getting me tempted to get out there and maybe start turning some laps. But again, congratulations on the victory here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you maybe next week.
I appreciate it. See y'all.
Yep, and that's number 30 of Christopher Tate coming in here as the winner at Pensacola. Here, five flags here, local to me, and a lot of maybe some other drivers out there, and you heard Tate just talk about a little bit, just having fun out there racing these late models here on iRacing, as they do provide some great short track racing, and like we mentioned throughout the this. Tonight, as these drivers were battling with some of the self-inflicted wounds of, self spins or just little light taps, and that's all about familiarity and like driving around the people that you race with on a regular basis, and you're eventually going to get into a rhythm where you're going to know how people act and what people's weaknesses and strengths are. But in any case, these drivers put on one heck of a race, and we'll go ahead and bring up the overall results here. Yep, and again, we'll see right there, winner is Christopher Tate, and then Christopher Smith in second, Clint Walker in third, Wesley Whitfield in fourth, Aikman Pollard in fifth, James Honeycutt in sixth, Brock Whitehead in seventh, Austin Cooper in eighth, Charles Whitehead in ninth, Christian Ruse in 10th, Brandon McNeil in 11th, Todd Lampier in 12th, Trey Whitehead in 13th, Christopher Cash in 14th, Lucas Whitehead in 15th, Rob Hattenbach in 16th, Michael Stegall in 17th, 18th will be John Quill Jr. Hi, John. I know you're still watching. And then Connor Gadsden back in 19th, Ethan Shirtleff in 20th, Justin Coleman in 21st, Justin Haynes in 22nd, and 23rd, Ray Dalton Creech. So congratulations to all the drivers out there, and for coming out here and putting on a great show for all the fans. And hopefully next week, if you didn't have the best of luck this week, hopefully you have better luck next week. But I had fun watching, and I had fun seeing how everybody did tonight. How about you, Derek? Did I lose you, Derek? All right, as Derek might be having a micro problems yet again tonight. We'll go ahead and wrap things up, and we'll see. Let's see. Next week we are at. Let me pull up the.
You hear me?
I hear him now. I'm just going over the schedule. So next week we're going to be at Hickory on the 20th, and then obviously with the holidays will pass, and then we'll be at Lucas Oil for the following race. So Hickory up next. How will your favorite driver do? How will the Smoky Mountain late model stock car tour spend out over the holidays, as the season is just getting ramped up here on CRN. So now that Derek's back, I'll give him a chance for any closeout comments that he may have.
Yeah, no, Jimmy, I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. But having the long green flags in the heats, going into the feature, it was fun to watch the guys beat and bang, battling close towards the end of the race. They got a nice little stint of green flag racing there. It was fun to watch. A lot of action there. Next week is Hickory. Hickory is going to be similar to New Smyrna, but kind of shorter. So it's kind of the mix between New Smyrna and Five Flags, but smaller. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to run it. They're going to be able to beat and bang. Going to be closer. That track's smaller. It has high banks in the corners. So it's going to be fun to watch next week. I'm excited. I can't wait to see who comes out and try to dethrone Christopher Tate from tonight's race. So it's going to be fun to watch, Timmy.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun to watch, but I think that's for us here in the booth at CRN, and we're going to let everybody go, and we will see you next week and at Hickory, same time, for the next few weeks. But till then, we'll see you in the track.
Meow, 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 meow.